Welcome to the Protractor Angel Challenge, and this was a fun challenge that I gave my students. And what we did was we tried to make as many lines as we could by tracing the protractor. So you can see here how we've traced the outer lines, and then we used some more of the outer lines here. And the wings were actually the entire protractor. And I'll pull it up this way here. And here we have the bottom of the dress here with some of the protractor lines as well. Actually, the only lines that we didn't use on this was the halo and the facial features here for this one. But that was a fun challenge that we did, and it was real easy. And what I loved about this lesson was it got the angel to fill up the whole page. And this was a pretty big page. We used 12 by 18 paper for this. So in a minute, I'm going to show you step by step how to do an angel very similar to this, but I wanted to show you one of my student examples first, right here. And she did quite a bit of lines with the protractor, and then she put in some detail just freehand. But the main sketch and composition was done with your protractor, and you can see how she did some double angel wings here that were real pretty too. So you can always add your own details to this. But I really loved how she filled this page with that. And so I'm going to show you now how we go about doing step by step. What I do is I start with a center point. And if you want to fold this paper in half just lightly, this will give you an idea of where your center is. And that really helps when you're making something that is the same on both sides. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the face here because I want to make sure I get it in a nice position. So I'm going to be using the inside curve here. So I'm going to place this line, the inside of the protractor, right on my center line. And then I'm just going to simply trace the inside here of this. Now if you do it with pencil, then you can erase anything if lines overlap. But I'm going to do Sharpie so you can see it clearly. Now what you do want to do is you want to save some room at the top, and that's about 3 or 4 fingers here at the top. I'd say a good 4 fingers for you for the halo, because you want to have that in there if you're going to be doing an angel. You could do this as any figure you'd like, but if you're going to do a halo on top, make sure you leave room there. And now I'm just going to simply flip it over, or you can even just turn it upside down here. Yeah, if we keep the numbers showing, that's better. And then I'm going to do the inside here as well on the other side. So now I have it same on both sides, symmetrical. Now what I want is some beautiful angelic hair coming out. So I'm going to come off of her head, keeping the inside curve, finding my center, coming up a little bit. Right here, I'm going to make a mark, jump up a little bit, and this is going to be her hair. So I'm going to use part of this curve, probably a little bit past the 90, right here. Right to the 80, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to flip it around, put it where I started, and then I'm going to go a little bit past the right there. So it's the same on both sides. Now I want to come down and out with a little bit of a curve. See how I came down and out? I'm going to go ahead and put in, and I'm going to have my hair curling outward, I think, on this example. So I'm going to bring the protractor anywhere on this curve and visualize how your hair is going to curl. So I'll have it touch the inside of her face, or touch the head line, and then I'm just going to turn it around and do it again. So this is a curving out toward the wall, toward the side of the page. And this one's going to curve the same, curve out. And this also defines her neck. Your hair, if you feel it, kind of hugs your face. It touches your face. Now what I'm going to do is give some curl. And so it can flip up on the ends, right here. And then I'm going to connect it. Let's get some curl down here. And then I'm going to use a side curve. Oh, maybe I'll just connect it straight. Right there. So I'm going to do my curl. And then I'm going to use the curl here. And then I'll connect it. So we have a little bit of a wave and a curl. Now I'm going to go ahead and give her a shirt line. So I'm going to come off of this here because this is her neck. And I'm going to do a kind of a curve here for the shirt. So I'm going to find the center, and your 90 is the center of the protractor. So I'm going to line it up to the fold. And I'm going to go ahead and do the collar of her dress. And I'm going to do a double line. So I'm going to slide it down and do another one. So I have a collar in here. Now at this point we can go ahead and do a face. So near the center, I'm going to make this a cartoon version, so I'm going to do it very simple. You can add your own face, but for time, I'm going to do this just fast. But this is the simple one that comes out very simple for all kids. Now this one's done with just circles and ovals. You can look at that one, very, very simple. This is going to be just a little bit less cartoony than that, but still a very simple one. So in the very center, I'm going to drop down a little bit, and I'm going to do a straight line. And this is my center here, so it's a little bit to the left. And then I'm going to come up with a elongated nose. Now, I want this angel singing. I just love making my angels whenever I do an angel singing. So I'm going to start on the very center line and do a number 1. And around that, I'm going to do a curve and a curve at the bottom and fill it in. Now for her eyes, what I'm going to do is a simple straight line, and I'm going to do 1 on each side, 1, 2, and they're slightly curved. So I start a little bit past the nose and I slightly curve down. And then I'm just going to do a slight bump up like a rainbow arch. And then I'm going to put in some black in the center here. Just like that. Now if you want to do some cheeks, you can draw in some cheeks here. Circles for cheeks. Okay, and that's basically the part that's, oh, let's get the halo in too. 2 straight lines for the halo. And then if you do a straight line here, and these are parallel, and another one here, and then a C curve, and a backward C curve right here. And there's our halo. Now we're going to go ahead and do the curve of her waist here. And you can see how our waist is coming in and in. So that's the inside of our protractor. So I'm going to decide from the top here, I'm going to slide it up so you can see the whole paper. Now, let's see. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to find this from the neckline to the bottom of the page, and I'm going to find the middle. And then from there, I'm going to give her a curved waist. So I want to come toward the bottom of this curl here, and I'm just going to, let me see, I want to raise it up a little bit. We'll give her a thicker waist here. So I'm going to do a slight curve, so top, bottom, find the middle, and then this is where the waist is going to end here, because then I want her dress to flare out. So I'm going to do a curve. Here's the middle line. Actually, I'll put a circle here so you can see it in the very middle. So top, bottom, center. I'll put the buttons in. This will help give it as a guideline. And I'm doing the buttons of her dress right on the fold line. That helps you see the fold a little bit better. Now I'm going to go to the edge of this curl and do the same curve here. Now for her dress, I want it to flare out. And so I take the diagonal and I go diagonally out here. And I'm going to do it toward the edge of the page. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it. I want a lot of this curve inside her gown. And measure on the same side, approximately. And then I'm going to use the inside to give these pretty curves. Make sure you can see that. Yeah. The inside, and I'm tracing the curves, kind of like a lacy, frilly dress here. And then I'm going to double line it as well. Curve, curve. This just gives more detail. Curve and curve. And now the wings simply put on, and they should be pointing upward. And I'm not going to trace below this, behind this rather. I mean on top of it. I'm not going to trace on top of it. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. trace, trace. Oops, that one slipped a little. And now you're going to slide it down. If you want to do a double wing, you can. I think I'm just going to leave it the simple wing like this. That looks good. Okay, and there it is. There is our simple, beautiful protractor angel. Let me know in the comments how yours came out.